Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back. Football is back. I keep saying that, but I cannot wait for this Premier League weekend to return. And we are here to preview Aston Villa versus Everton, the 5:30 kickoff. And I'm here with George. It's been a while. I just said, mate, how are you doing?
Hello, Rich. Hello, everyone. I'm good, mate. I'm all right. Yeah, I've not been in for a little while. Like you guys have been getting progressively later, and doesn't quite suit me getting up early in the morning. But it's all good. Like I'll still get on when I can, boys.
Good, good, good. Yes, we put the message in the group, and George was like, "Look, just do it a little bit earlier."
Yeah,
So I relented and thought, "No more 10 p.m. We'll do 9 p.m. on a Friday night." So yeah, you've got the pleasure of George with you tonight. Make sure you smash the like button and hit that subscribe button. We are marching on to 5,000 subscribers. So please do like, subscribe, and keep your comments coming in. Obviously, we're going to get score predictions. We're going to do our lineup predictions as well. We're going to talk about the game tomorrow. If you didn't catch as well our In the Away End episode with Mike from Blue Boys Network, please do catch that. It was a fantastic episode, and Mike's a great lad, great Everton fan, but has got a lot of time and a lot of respect for Aston Villa. He's actually a Brummie, and his dad was a Scouser, so he's obviously been born into an Everton fan, but has a lot of respect for Aston Villa. So do catch that show. So George, we've had the international break, and Aston Villa before that. You mentioned you haven't been on for a while, and I think it was the preview to the first game of the season, which we got the win against West Ham. We followed that up with a defeat against Arsenal, and then we beat Leicester away from home. So 2 wins out of 3. What have you made of the start of the season for Aston Villa so far?
yeah, been pretty encouraging to be fair, mate. Slightly different from the way we've been playing last year. We've been it's been a bit more sort of workmanlike, isn't it? A bit more graft involved, not quite the pretty football as such. But we've got the job done. We've two tough away games that were both reasonably similar to each other. I thought, the way the same players scored in both and the same score line, and we had to work hard to win both. But yeah, we seem to have a bit of grit, a bit of determination about us, and we're not quite as soft as we were. We played very well in the Arsenal game, probably better in that one than we did in the two
Yeah,
we won.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, we got punished there for not taking our chances. But 2 wins out of 3, I don't really think you can complain too much. And with the run of games we've got coming now, there's a good chance to get some points on the board. Obviously, that's not a given, but you take the fixtures now, and you'd hope to be up there come the next international break.
Absolutely, and we'll come to that in terms of the potential opportunities for Villa with the Champions League and the Carabao Cup sandwiched in. But who has impressed you over these last few games in terms of their performances so far?
Yeah, the team have done all right. I mean, obviously, I don't think anyone can look past Onana, really. I mean, there was me 3-4 weeks ago when you called a flop of the season, and I stupidly called Onana out. But he looks colossal at the moment in there. Big boy, big physical presence. He's adhered himself to the fans. They love him. Scored 2 goals in 3 games. He started fantastically. So if he carries on like this, he's forget flop of the season. He's going to be player of the season. So there's your standout performer. Other than that, you can't knock John Duran's impact, can you? Again, another 2 goals from the bench. He's he's got a reputation now, hasn't he? And I think teams are
Mhm.
wary of him. He's still that wild card sort of live wire striker. He's pushing Watkins now to get in the side. But if he doesn't start the games, to me, it's not a massive issue. If he comes on 60 minutes and scores a goal every week, I'd be quite happy. So you're putting them two as your best players so far. Other than that, really, young Costa's done okay when he played, didn't he? Yeah, they're probably the ones I'd mentioned so far,
Yeah,
Rich.
yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. I think obviously Morgan Rogers been getting some
Sorry,
headlines
of
as well.
course,
But
Rogers. Yeah,
it'd be nice to see him get a goal. But that Arsenal game, I think he burst onto the scene and showed what he was all about, and all of a sudden the pundits started talking about him. But yeah, I think you bang on. I think it's no surprise the two players who've got the 4 goals stand out: Amadou Onana, John Duran, and I think Yuri Tielemans maybe deserves a shout as well,
yeah,
because
yeah.
that central midfield partnership has been excellent. But in terms of, I guess, apart from maybe the obvious, and we'll come on to maybe a player in terms of Ollie Watkins, who I think is great that he's fit for the team or the squad tomorrow, because I really think he can get on the score sheet. This is a really good opportunity for him. But is there anyone else that you've kind of think you might be looking for a little bit more from, or you're excited to see, them kind of warming up into the season a bit more?
Yeah, I mean, the depth we've got is outrageous at the moment. So I'll tell all Villa fans now, enjoy this while we've not got that injury crisis. I know there's already a 2 or 3 cropped, but, we've got a lot of players available at the moment. Really excited about what Jacob Ramsey can bring.
Mm.
He's had a sort of very injury hit last couple of seasons. And at the moment, he's fit and he's firing. So, I'm excited for what he could do. You're looking at, Matson at the moment. I know it's
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
moment
yeah.
it's still Luca Dean's place, and I agree with what Emery's doing, because Luca Dean done nothing to lose that place. Okay, we've strengthened in the summer, but at the moment, Luca Dean's shirt is there for him to keep, and Matson's got to win that shirt. But again, what an option off the bench at the moment, and I could see him having a big impact tomorrow in the game against Everton. There's the encouraging news about Mings and Kamara both back in training now.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know how long that's going to take for them to be featuring, but what a boost to the squad they are.
Absolutely huge. And I would imagine that for Mings, maybe he's targeting the Wickham game. I don't know if Kamara will be ready in time for that, but you never know. These players, he seems to have quite a fast recovery rate, Kamara,
Yeah,
which is quite encouraging. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, absolutely, that is great. And there was news today that they've been put in the 25-man squad.
I
So
saw
I think
that,
that
mate.
was
Yeah,
obvious that was going to happen, but it's encouraging nonetheless. But yeah, I totally agree with you. I think Ramsey, we'll talk about our probable lineups in a little while, but you can see him gradually building. You can see that relationship with Morgan Rogers and Jacob Ramsey building. I think John McGinn, I'd like to start to see him warming up into the season a little bit more. And Jaden Philogene obviously was injured the last game. It'd be nice to see him be able to show a real impact. But you're absolutely right in what you're saying. In terms of the squad, we haven't even talked about Ross Barkley. We haven't talked about Emi Buendia. They're players who can really make an impact as well. So it's looking really good, and I think the squad and the team will get utilised a lot over this next few weeks, and we may see some rotation in terms of how he prioritises Premier League and Champions League as well. So that's going to be interesting to see. The first game we have, obviously, though, in this run of games is Everton at home. A game that's been kind to us over the number of years. It's the most played game in the top division as well. We will come to the stats in a little while, but Everton as a team, and Mike spoke about this on the opposition preview, but not had a great start to the season. I think they've conceded 10 goals, 3 defeats. And after being quite positive, I think, around the club in terms of some of the signings they've made, it's not been the start to the season that they wanted at all.
no, not at all. I think Dyche will be very disappointed, because that's been a club that's been in trouble now for a good few years. But last year, after Christmas, he finally, he's got some good defenders there, and he got them solid, didn't he? And they stopped conceding goals. I think they ended up about the 6th or 7th best defense in the league. They weren't winning many games, but they're getting a lot of draws and a lot of clean sheets. And and I think they ended up, where'd they end up last year? About 13th. They weren't in trouble, were they?
No, I think he mentioned that without the points deduction, they would have been like 12th, 11th, or 12th.
Yeah.
So with the points deduction, I think obviously it was about 14th, 15th. But yeah, they did pick up some very good results, to be fair to them.
Yeah, and so to then you think you come out of the back of that and you think you start a new season, you've built from the back like all good teams should, and then they just haven't started this season, have they? I mean, God, they got a good spanking off. Was it Brighton? Give them a good hiding, then Spurs as well,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, the last one. God, I mean, I was in here watching the Leicester Villa game, and I'd done, like, as everyone knows, I like a little bet on a Saturday, and I'd done like a 4 or 5 teams. Like Villa were in there, but also Bournemouth were in there. So I'd like quickly check the scores, and I saw Everton were 2-0 up after with about, I don't know, about 20 minutes left. I thought, oh, forget that, it's gone. So I've watched the Villa, I've watched us win that nervy second half with Leicester.
Hmm.
And I thought I'll just check how close I was with the bet. Then all I've seen, like, Bournemouth have come back with like 3 goals after the 87th minute. And I just thought, Jesus Christ, Everton are in trouble if that is the sign of a team that's on their way down, isn't it? At this early stage of the season, you can't lose a game from being 2-0 up on the 87th minute. And you just
Well,
think, Jesus Christ, what's going
it
on?
reminded me of when we went down, the season we went down, and we lost to Leicester after being 2-0 up
I was there, mate, for that.
early
God,
in the
yeah.
season. And it
Grealish's first
reminded me
goal,
of
wasn't it?
that. Yeah. And you just think, unless you can turn it around quickly and arrest that slide, it is looking ominous across the season. And without being too cocky or too arrogant, Aston Villa away from home isn't necessarily the game that you want following, to try and turn your season around, really.
No, of course it's not. God, they might. You don't want to say too much because you don't want egg on your face, do you? But to me, if I was a neutral, you're looking at a home banker tomorrow because the Everton's confident. I mean, they've had the international break, which has probably come at a good time for them after that. Because Jesus, you're on the floor, aren't you? I know it's only early days, but that must have been a shell shock to the crowd, to Daesh, and to the team, the fans. It's a real bit of blow to them. But I was having a little look through the Everton squad before I come on here. And 3-4 years ago, I mean, they had some good players in their squad. But I'm looking now, and I'm just looking at it thinking, what, you haven't really got much there. You've got a few solid defenders, as I said. But if they're not playing, you've got a good goalkeeper in Jordan Pickford. But what else really is there? It's they're paying the price for overspending like they did back in the day, and they're about to cut their cloth accordingly. And their squad now looks like a squad that's fighting relegation to me. I don't even think they're underperforming. They're just not that good.
Yeah. Well, one player who has impressed, and a lot of Everton fans are really pleased with him, is Tim Iroegbunam. And I think we're all quite pleased that he's found a club and he's doing well and he's getting first team football. And Mike had said that he's actually been their best player, and it shows. He was saying it shows the level of the disparity between the clubs, almost, that he was 5th choice or 6th choice central midfielder at Aston Villa, but he's actually come in and been Everton's best player. Now, there's an element of wanting to impress your new club, but it does show in terms of the how fast our improvement and how much we've improved. And like you say, in terms of Everton, it's like, well, where are they? What are they as a club at the moment?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I've got a good friend at work, Butch. He's a big Everton fan, and we have a bit of banter. We're good mates, but in them times when we were struggling and we eventually went down, the relentless banter and teasing that he used to give me. At the moment, like, I'm looking at him and I can see his little sorry face, which used to be my little sorry face, and I'm feeling sorry for him. But at the same time, I'm finding I can't let it go until they've gone down as well and they've suffered like we did. And I'm apologising to him, but I'm like, no, you did this to me. You're going the same way as we did, and you need to you need to take your medicine. But he said the same, yeah. As regards to Tim, he's been very impressed. He said, I think he's just, maybe found his level, isn't he?
Mm.
You're not getting in our midfield at the moment. He's probably picked a good club to go to in Everton, who are, not as flushed as they once were. He's found his space, and I think the Everton fans then, they're quite demanding fans, but what they really want to see is a bit of effort, and that's what Tim apparently is showing. He's putting his foot in. He's passing the ball well, showing a bit of heart. And when your team's not winning, that's probably the first thing you're looking for. So yeah, good luck to him.
Absolutely. I've been showing loads of comments up. Thank you for all your comments, guys, and good evening to everyone. Thank you all for watching. We've got over 100 in the chat already. Please do, as the message says, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and help us on the road to 5K if you haven't liked already. I'm not sure how many likes we're on, but yeah, over 100 watching on X and on YouTube so far. So please do keep hitting that like button and help spread the word of the channel. So let's just take a look at the Everton potential lineup, because they've still got a fair few players out. This is from Gareth's page at One Villa Analysis, on X. obviously Tim in there as well, but they have still got a few players out. No Branthwaite. Um, has been very impressed with Njai, so he said he's the main danger. Obviously, Garner Gay still in there, ex Villa. Tarkowski and Michael Keane's been playing at the moment, so that's a player I think we should be able to get at. Calvert-Lewin, obviously, we know what he can do and can be dangerous. Potentially with who we might have to play at the back, maybe they target them. But I mean, it's a workman-like team. Quite like Dwight McNeil, George, but it's a team that if Aston Villa are on their game with the home crowd, with everything going for it, we should have too much, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I think so. As I said before, there's no given, and we could look sillier and we could lose the game, but nah. Looking at that, Tarkovsky and Keane, they're good, solid centre backs, but we've had them on toast the last few seasons. I mean, as I said, my mate Butch, they've got this young lad now, Jake O'Brien, who they've signed from France or something. He was saying about him,
Yeah,
and he said that what he's seen of O'Brien, he really likes him, and he can't understand how he's not playing instead of Keane. They said Keane's got a nice passing range, but he's too slow, and like you say, he can be got at. So he's saying about Keane shouldn't be playing. He's mentioned Ashley Young. He said Ashley Young's just pretty much gone now. I just don't think Young ever quite got over leaving Villa myself, and he should have retired there and then, but he obviously wasn't ready. But that team, it's all right, but this, as you say, Dwight McNeil, good player for Burnley, done a bit at Everton, but them players are not in the class of what we can offer at the minute. I don't think anyway. But Calvert-Lewin always flaky against Villa, flaky in general. He can turn up and have good games, but he's got a reputation for me on half a season, maybe one good season in his career. I'm amazed they've not replaced him myself, but obviously the money troubles, I guess, is that reason.
Yeah. How do you think Sean Dyche approaches this? And I'll talk about what the Everton fan on our opposition preview talked about. But how do you think Everton will approach this? How do you think Sean Dyche will go about this game?
Well, he doesn't have much choice, does he? People get on Dyche's back, but he's never had no money to spend really anywhere he's been. And I think he's a good manager, but he's a very pragmatic, practical manager who tries to make the best of his situation. So they're gonna defend, aren't they? It'll be deep, try and suck it up, try and spoil the game, tactical fouls, all that sort of thing, and basically trying to stop us scoring. But if they don't do that, if we do get an early goal, I think we could score a few tomorrow. They're going to try and hit us on the break, I guess. Try it. Calvert-Lewin will try and put himself about, try and bully Torres, but I think I just can't see them having the game to really, really trouble us. But yeah, let's hope I am right on that.
Yeah, I think they will go with that exactly as you say. Try and stay in the game, try and frustrate. They'll understand that Villa will have quite a lot of the ball, and then they'll try and utilize the pace of Ndiaye and maybe the physical presence of Calvert-Lewin and try and play for set pieces. Someone in the comments saying we'll have to be good from set pieces, and that typical, if you like, Sean Dyche, although it's an effective tactic at times. But Mike was saying that really that is how he'll play, but he shouldn't play like that. Everton's strengths are, he says, at running with the ball and getting distance. So he says Tim's quite good at carrying the ball, McNeil's good at carrying the ball, and Jai's good at carrying the ball. And a lot of the time they miss out those players by trying to soak it up and go long and trying to win second balls when really their strength is in ball carrying. So if he does change and go to that style, then it might be actually quite an interesting game because Villa's if Ramsey and Rodgers are playing or they feature on, which I'm sure they will at least for some part of the game, then Villa have got progressive carriers of the ball. So it's going to be interesting. It could be one of those games where both teams are trying to carry the ball high up the pitch. But yeah,
I mean, as you were just saying that, Rich, it did remind me of the Carabao Cup game last year, and I know we weren't all out full strength that day, but they were good that day. That's the best Everton I've seen probably in a couple of years. That night, they did what you've just described. To be fair, they had a run at us, didn't they? And we, they deserved that on that night and beat us. But we've not really seen that Everton much. I think he's, I don't think he likes taking the risks, does he? But your man could have a point there, but it's whether they've got the guts to do that with the firepower that we've got. If they try and run at us and we win the ball, they could be in massive trouble, couldn't they?
Exactly. And like you said, an early goal, which happened last season, almost puts paid to the game in terms of how Everton would have approached it. And that will be the last thing that Sean Dyche wants. On to Villa. And in terms of, before we get our predicted lineups on the screen, we've had news that Ezri Konsa is thankfully fit. Ollie Watkins, thankfully fit. So I'm pretty sure they start. But how do you think Unai Emery, after the international break, will look to approach this game as well?
Yeah, as I said earlier, I think he's probably going to pinpoint these next 4 or 5 games as, as early as it is. It could be quite pivotal into getting us into the mix early and trying to hang around with the top teams again. But I'm hearing what's the crack with Leon Bailey? Is he injured? I've not heard the official word, but all the rumours are that he's not fit. So we could be missing him, I think. And also Philogene, who probably would have been his replacement, is apparently out as well. So I'm not sure. I guess it will be McGinn. McGinn will be taking that spot, I assume.
Yeah, I've not heard anything on either player other than the tweet that came out from whether it is a qualified physician or what, I don't know, but said that there's a potential he's got a grade 4 tear in his
This is what I put on the
hamstring.
group yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, that could
Yeah.
be up to 10 weeks out, but they didn't say whether it was a grade 1, 2, 3, or 4. But yes, some people, Rachel's saying Bailey's out for 2 weeks. Michael saying he's out. Sai saying it's a hamstring as well. So yeah, he could be out. And I've not seen. I mean, there hasn't been too many pictures. Usually the Villa admins can't wait to get the training pictures out, and I've not seen too many of that. And Emery was quite cagey about. Obviously, he said Konza and Watkins were fine and to be in the squad, but he was quite cagey about everything else. But I've not seen pictures of Philogene training. I've not seen pictures of Cash training. Obviously, they were quite quick to get Kamara and Mings out on the pictures, but we know that they're not going to be fit enough yet to feature. So maybe he's keeping his cards a little bit close to his chest.
It's probably tactical, that, isn't it? So Dyche doesn't know how to set up. Expect Bailey and not get him.
Exactly. So I don't know if the journalist asked him the question directly about Leon Bailey, but I'd be pretty confident that he's not playing. And yeah, maybe Philogene's out as well. So
that's a shame for Philogene, isn't it? Because his first chance he's get, and he's not fit himself to take it.
Yeah, although I don't know if he would have started anyway, because he hasn't played the last couple of games where he has had a knock, hasn't he? So even if he was back fit and through to full training, I don't know if he'd have started anyway. I think he might have gone for a different look. But yeah, we'll see. CC has said, real test as Everton have the ability to hurt us. We cannot underestimate them. We need to put away teams that are struggling versus giving them a chance to hurt us. And also says, tactically, it will be interesting to see how Emery sets us up. We'd love to see Buendia get some minutes too. Now, he scored, didn't he? 2 goals. He's
got a good record against them, yeah.
He has, yes, he has. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting look. Let's have a look at the predicted lineups, though. So, we've got, I'll spoiler, we haven't got too much different, but let's go through mine first. So I've gone for Martinez in goal and Lamar Bogard at right back, Ezri Konsa, Pau Torres, and Luka Dean. I just think that he didn't really do anything particularly wrong, and I thought he grew into the game in terms of Bogard, and we won the game. So I think he probably does enough to keep his shirt. And then it'll be Onana, Tielemans, and then I think Ramsey, McGinn, and Rodgers in any particular order across that sort of attacking midfield area. I think that'll be quite a bit of rotation there, and then Ollie Watkins up front. So that's my predicted lineup. Anyone in the chat, get yours on as well. George, not much different to mine, but you've gone with Nedeljkovic at right back.
Yeah, like Bogard the other week at Leicester, he's not a right back, is he?
No.
He did all right. I thought he did all right, but I thought he gave away the ball too much. I'm not knocking him. He's a young kid, first game and all that. No pressure on him. But I just thought in the games I've seen of Nedeljkovic, he looks a better option there for me. I don't think he didn't. We're playing against a team here where we should not be under too much pressure, I'd imagine. And he's got quite a good attacking impetus in his game, hasn't he? Whereas Bogart's more defensive. So I'd be going for him on this occasion. But yeah, other than that, mate, I think that's the same team, isn't it?
Yeah, same team, and I don't think. I mean, whether is there a chance that Emery's got Tuesday night in mind and maybe goes a bit of a wild card and puts Barkley in the starting lineup instead of, say, a Tielemans or something?
Well, I
What
don't know
do you?
what game's more important.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
We don't know this yet, do we?
No, no.
Yeah. Well, is it an early one on Tuesday? Is it a 5:45?
Well, yeah, 5:45 kickoff on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Does John Duran start ahead of Ollie Watkins, with maybe Watkins not being fully fit and, like I say, with Tuesday in mind?
There's a possibility, but at the same time, Watkins is really going to want to get his first goal, hasn't he? And if you're looking at that Everton defence, I think he's going to be wanting to play this game. And I fancy him to start this. Maybe Duran will start in Switzerland. I mean, as far as I know, I've heard young boys have got off to a really bad start in their league. Apparently, they've not won in first six games or something.
No,
So I don't really know their level, to be fair. But maybe the chances of rotation is we could probably play our best players against Everton and maybe make a couple of changes for them. But yeah, we'll see. Like as you said, Buendia there, the mention in the comments, is he ready to start a game? I mean, he could be that position as well, couldn't he? I'm thinking of Bailey, then Philogene. Buendia's off the right as well. So if he's fit, maybe he's an option as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it could be that they're fit enough, or they are fit enough, but it could be that they've got enough time to recover and recuperate. They've had 2 weeks. Some have been on international break, but international duty. But played Saturday, rest Sunday, travel to. It's not too far to travel on the Monday, and then they're straight in. So yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Well, I think that would be my starting lineup. And like you say, I mean, I can see an argument for Bogart. I can see an argument for Nedeljkovic, and I think both of them would be adequate. I worry sometimes physically with Nedeljkovic at the moment. Just if for example Calvert-Lewin's targeting that side and he would play in between, say, Konsa and Nedeljkovic, maybe there's a little bit there. But then speed wise, that Njai is fast, Nedeljkovic is fast, so that might sort of cancel each other out. Whereas
Plus, he
I
just
don't
got
know.
his first games for Serbia, didn't he? Apparently, did
Yes,
well.
did
Got
very
a
well.
good bit of praise from the manager, so he should be buzzing, shouldn't he?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that could be interesting. We'll get predicted scores in a bit. Let's just take a little look at our competition for our friends at Football Prizes. Now, I talked about this the other night, but they have a phenomenal competition at the moment for 2 hospitality tickets to Aston Villa versus Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Now, we know the controversy around the tickets. We know that the tickets have sold out as fast as anything, but they have 2 hospitality tickets available where you get all-inclusive bar, all-inclusive food. You get the ex-players question and answer session during the match build-up, and you obviously get to see the match from a nice, comfy chair. The tickets cost £3.95 for your chance to win, and it's limited to only 299 tickets, so you have a great chance of winning. So make sure you visit Football Prizes and search for the Aston Villa competition. You've got until the 20th of September, so just under a week left to enter. Like I say, the prize, the link will be in the description, but it's footballprizes.co.uk and it's the Aston Villa competition. Let me unshare my screen. Sorry about that. And so let's have a look at the statistics. So Aston Villa versus Everton, as we said, George, the most played game in the Premier League, 58 times played, 25 wins for Villa, 16 home, 9 away. Everton have only beaten Villa at Villa Park 4 times, and the last few games have been advantage Aston Villa, other than a draw last season at Goodison Park. But yeah, it's very much Aston Villa are the favourites this time round and in over the history of this fixture.
Yeah, always been a reasonably nice game this for us. I think it's the most points we've got against any Premier League team is Everton. And I feel a bit silly now because I've been going around work all week telling everyone that Everton have not scored at Villa Park since he got promoted. But I've forgotten they got that last minute one, didn't they, when we beat them 2-1? Literally last knockings of the game, they nicked a goal and made it a bit nervy. But I think that's literally the only one. And we've been up, 5 years? And it's just been 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. So it's been pretty comfortable.
Say that again.
Sorry, mate. I thought you'd gone mute there. I thought, oh God, am I going to be on my
own? No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. It's definitely a game that we should be winning. We should absolutely be winning, definitely. But yeah, the history books say that we should be on top and in charge in this game. Before I trouble you for a match prediction, and I'm pretty sure you are very confident, George, because you have been quietly confident in this all the way through this episode. So
unusually bullish.
Yes, unusually bullish. That's what I was going to say. Get your predictions in the comments, please. What do you think the scoreline is going to be? But yeah, George, take it away, my friend.
Yeah, 3-0 Everton. No, sorry, I'm obviously only joking there. No, I fancy us to have a real good day tomorrow. I'm gonna go for a big 5-0, Rich.
Yes, I saw that. I did see that. But yeah, very, 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 very confident, mate. Who's getting the goals?
I reckon this is Ollie Watkins' day to come back. I fancy him to get a hat trick tomorrow. You know, doesn't score for 8 games. You know what he does? He's purple patch, as we all say. I think tomorrow he'll get an early one. All the old tension will be released. He's apparently back fit now and firing. I fancy him to get 2 or 3 tomorrow. Duran off the bench again to get 1. And it'd be nice for Onana to keep this scoring run going, especially, you know, and stick one up his old club. So yeah. I'm probably going a bit ambitious, yeah, but I'm going to go 5-0, mate. Why not?
Keep with it. So Sai in the chat is saying 4-0 Villa. Deontay, Aston Villa 3, Everton 1. Jim is in agreements with you, says could be big, 5-0. Rachel saying 3-1 Villa. We can't keep a clean sheet though. Wolf says we are due a big win, but never works like that. Michael says 3-0 Villa, but we must take our chances and be respectful. I said 3-1 Villa. I agree with Rachel. I don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet, but I think we win. And I do think Ollie Watkins gets on the score sheet. I think he gets 1. I think I said, who else did I say? I think I said McGinn and Morgan Rogers as well. So yeah, that's what I'm going for. 3-1 Villa. And yeah, a nice win and takes us into these next league games. Obviously, we know it's one game at a time, but Everton, Wolves, Ipswich are 3 league games that you've got to be looking at trying to get for maximum points.
Yeah, of course you have. I mean, you can't take any game for granted. You know, I'm normally a practical one on. I ran that point down everyone's throats, but it's true. If we want to be up there again, you've got to be getting points in these games because we know there's going to be tougher days to come and tougher spells of games to come. So if you can get a nice spell while most of your players are fit, you've kind of got to make the most of it, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. Well, look, it's going to be a good game, and hopefully this one takes us, like you say, into these next games and gives us a massive opportunity. Richard is very, very confident as well. I think every Villa fan, if I do a poll, which I will do tomorrow, every Villa fan I think will be very confident in the win. We've just got to make sure we get that job done. George, another great show, mate. Thank you very much. Great to have you back on, mate.
More than welcome, mate. Yeah, thanks, Rich.
Good. Thank you to everyone watching. We will be back with instant reaction tomorrow, full match reaction on Sunday. Then we've got the Champions League to come. So match preview for the Young Boys game, talking tactics, everything back as normal next week. So loads of shows. Make sure you smash that like button and hit the subscribe button on your way out. Help us on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Thank you everyone for watching. And as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa.